We're doing a deep dive on the bill that just went to Congress over GLP-1 compounding, and we're talking about defining shortages, surges, essential copies, regulation, reporting, all sorts of stuff. Let's dive into it. To amend the Federal Food and Drug and Cosmetic Act to ensure patients have access to certain shortage and urgent use compounded medications for other purposes. The act is called Drug Shortage Compounding Patient Access Act of 2025. In pages 2 through 4, we amend the 503A section saying that we will allow compounding for urgent administration, and it puts real guidelines on what that means. There are 4 conditions for this. Number 1, it must be on the shortage list within the last 60 days. Number 2, the prescribing physician must certify that they could not find an FDA-approved medication. There are new strict labeling policies. All adverse effects must be reported to MedWatch within 15 days of occurrence. This is a big deal. This gives hospitals and medical professionals and patients access while keeping FDA standards in place and functioning, ensuring safety and access. On page 5, we define specifically what an essential copy is. And you'll remember this was a big part of a lot of the lawsuits that are going on, saying it's an exact copy, it's patent infringement. We're now redefining that. It has to have a meaningful clinical difference to the patient, or it can be in shortage, and copies can be made. This protects compounded medications even when the branded ones do exist. The next big thing this bill does is amend the 508C section for reporting. The FDA must be told when there's surges in demand, not just discontinuations or slowdowns, but surges as well. It also requires them to report everything much earlier, like 6 months earlier. It also redefines shortage to mean that demand is higher than the supply, and defines surge as something that means there is a likelihood of a lack of supply, which could delay medications or create shortfalls. Finally, in the next section, we update outsourcing facilities, the 503Bs. It broadens the time frame for shortage-eligible products to be made by compounding facilities. Now it's 180 days, so 6 months. It also requires that they yearly at minimum update where they're getting their APIs from, their active ingredients. And that kind of goes back to the green list the FDA just put out. Finally, on page 10, we talk more about labeling guidelines, saying that compounded medications need to be labeled with the following. This medication has been compounded for dispensing to an individual patient and is not FDA approved. This is promoting transparency and informed decision-making for the patients and compounders. So if this bill passes, it will protect patient access to compounded medications like GLP-1s while also improving the safety and transparency between the pharmacies, patients, and providers. I really think this is trying to find a balance between having compounded medication and branded medication, making sure it's regulated and safe. What do you all think? Drop it in the comments.